All right, how y'all doing? Crickey Joe here on the Vojvodina, Serbia map. It is a large map, um, several fields. We own field 65, which we are currently harvesting if you watched the first episode. And I did no voice on that episode because I had to get a new headset. My old one stopped working. So we own field 65, 76, 42, 27, 9, 14, and 53. We are currently harvesting wheat, I believe it is, on field 65. Yes, sirree. And if you notice, I have $79,000. I sold the tractors and equipment that we started the game with, which I tend to do on all the maps I play, and buy the equipment that I like. So we're playing this map on the hard mode, so we're going to have to really pay attention to the money, and we're going to have to try to save up for the things we need only when we need them. So let's get started and head back over to field 65 and get this gentleman started back on the wheat harvest. And he is 86% full, so we need to get into our IH 1586 with our tipper. Get ready to unload our combine. Right now we only own the combine, this tractor, and a tipper. I think that's all we have. Oh, and we have the trailer for the dual wheels also. So let's get ready to unload this guy. Back up. This map has a working train and an airplane that constantly flies over mocking us. Hello, where are you headed? He ends up turning up here and flying back over the farm, and supposedly way back over that way there's some kind of an airfield or something. I haven't been over there to look yet. At some point, maybe I will. So on this map, the fruits that we have, this is a more different map. We have wheat on field 65. On field 76 we have sugar beets. 42 is sunflower. 27 is soybean. 9 looks to be corn. 14 I think is unplanted, even though it says wheat. I think it is an unplanted field, and I think the 53 is just a grass field. Yeah, 14 is unplanted, so basically wheat, sugar beets, sunflowers, soybeans. What did I say that was? Corn, and an unplanted field, and some grass. Okay, off you go. On this field, at the far end up ahead, there is a water ditch or a canal of some sort, so I had to start by cutting along that edge, and then twice along that edge, just so that he wouldn't get stuck in the water ditch. Jump out of there so we save fuel. And the next thing I think we're going to need to purchase is a forage wagon, so that we can get this straw picked up and we can take some up to get started for cows. This map also has a beef area and a pig area. I've never used those before, so that'll be interesting. So we'll wait to get a forage harvester. I'm going to use one tractor for now as much as possible, so that we don't have any added expenses, because we will have to seed and fertilize after all is done. So right now our main focus is to get this wheat field cut. And I'm going to try to keep as much on recording as possible as far as the work goes on this farm. That will drag it out a long time, I know, but I think a lot of people appreciate the fact that they get to see everything that happens. So, and this is a rather large field, so it'll take a little while. This combine up here, though, does go at 7 miles per hour compared to some that only go 6, 5, and 4. And it has a 20-foot header, so it does make fairly quick work of it. And it's fairly cheap. I think it's 15,000 or so, or maybe it's not. I need to double check. I have to go to owned. It's actually $13,750. It's an older combine. We see these in Kansas a lot, and the header is a 20-foot IH 1020. Then we have the trailer for the dual wheels for the tractor, and the tipper. And that's all we own at present. So hopefully my new mic sounds a little more clear. Hopefully the volume is set high enough for you to hear me. There he goes again. Bye. And I guess we can jump in the combine and kind of ride along with him for a little bit. Go inside where it's a little more quiet. So right now we're just getting started. It's going to be a little bit boring, I know, because we only have one operation going on right now. And if you notice, the mirrors on this combine do work, and if you notice, they're pointed down towards the back wheels of the combine. You can see the back wheel there on the left, and you can see the back wheel in the rear end of the combine there on the right. The reason that is that farmers use those mirrors not to watch traffic, but to watch the back end of the combine to make sure that straw is coming out the back end, because there are times when you will cut grains like wheat that the grain or the plant itself is a little bit wet in the mornings, and then in the evening sometimes it gets dew on it early, and you have to always monitor your combine. You have to monitor your auger and your grain tank. You have to monitor your chopper or spreader to make sure that everything is going through the combine properly. This isn't a bad mod. It's an older combine, but I like the way it works. Reminds me of watching harvests around here. The textures on this map are different than some. The straw looks a little more poofy, I guess you would say. Ground textures are a little bit different, but the detail on this map is nice. It's not the greatest, but it's not the worst either. It's actually, I enjoy this map. Played it a little bit, so I thought maybe I would do a whole season, first season on this map. I've done different maps and just kind of played around with them and just put them up on YouTube to just kind of show some different operations, and I think it's time I settle down on one map and follow it through to the conclusion, because I've practiced enough, I think, now with the actual video recording that I think we should be able to do a decent job on this farm. And it's good on hard mode that we start out with all these fields so that we can get a little bit of cash flow going. Of course, I did sell the vehicles at the beginning to get a little bit of cash built up to get started, and we'll only buy the things we need when we need them. So basically, just give you a view here of what it's like to be in a combine at harvest time. Did this for many years, like many of you know if you've watched any of my videos. Almost 25 years of working on the family farm. So the horsepower on that IH 1586 is 161 horsepower tractor. That should be big enough right now for most of the operations that we are going to be doing initially. Eventually we'll be getting a larger tractor for some of our field work and planting as we get larger equipment, but for right now it doesn't, this 86 series mod, this whole pack of tractors doesn't work on course play very well. But I'm going to try to stay away from course play as much as possible on this map and only use hired workers, because that way we are actually charged labor, and I want to make this a little bit, if it's on hard mode, I want to make it a little bit of a struggle. His light, meaning he is about full. And this combine, this mod, also the IH 1480 has its own little inspector right above the vehicle symbol. It tells you the level it's at, which is nice. I tried to download the inspector mod a long while back, but my computer's antivirus or whatever software would not allow it, so it was dangerous. So I was not able to download it. Go ahead and get up here where we can keep him from stopping. That's one thing about harvesting in real life. You try to keep the combine on the road. See if I can get him above the tipper. And hit him. How about that? Sorry about that, mister. We'll just let you get to the end here and we'll catch you. Try to grab it straight down the side so that we do not run into him again. Okay, we did not catch him. Fully unloaded, so we'll pull out of his way and let him continue on. Shut our tractor down. I don't have the manual ignition mod installed, but I'm jiggling out turns off the tractor. So. So this tipper is the J&M 680. I believe it holds 23,000 something, 23,900 liters, which is a good sized tipper for that tractor. water ditch is right over there on the edge of the field there. Let me jump out here and show you. When I first tested out this map a while back, my combine ended up on the first stretch on that end of the field. He ended up in the ditch, couldn't get him out. So I ended up having to cut 2 rows here, 2 swaths across this end just to give him room to turn around when he's finished. So while he's doing that, I guess we could go kind of walk around a little and jump up through the ditch. There's another field over here. I wonder how big that one is. That's a big long one. We can go for a little jog down the road here. I don't know all the sell points on this map yet because I haven't played it enough to really explore it, and I think that kind of makes it more interesting to kind of not know where anything's at. And I don't want to buy a vehicle yet. And there's a road going down that way. What does that say? That said something. Let's see what that sign says. The something or other Sunoco. Okay, don't know what that means. And this is the Zitopromet, which looks like a grain place. So there's fuel. And this map also has working scales. So it can, we don't weigh anything personally. So it'll tell you how much your tractors and tippers weigh. And this must be the point you drop off at to sell your whatever. And then there's a thing here, which is probably just for show. Is there anything? That's not bad detail. I don't like it. And there was a big old silo. Wonder if we can climb that. No. That's too bad. Wait, another ladder? Can we? No. Okay, that would be cool. And it has floodlights. Can we turn the floodlights on? No. I do have a mod where you can add floodlights. So there's a sell point of some sort. And that's probably the edge of the map, which runs straight into the trees. So I guess I could open the map to kind of see. Alright, we're going back down the road towards the field. And that sign, I guess, means that there's a road connecting to the main road right here, which we just ran up. There's our wheat field. There's work ahead, looks like. So I guess we can't drive on that side of the road in this area. Some other fields. Our farm is like way up there. And then there's something else over here. Yeah, we don't want to walk all the way over there. Let's go back. Let's go through the trees. I picked up a horseshoe. There's horseshoes on this map. How convenient. That was lucky. Lucky horseshoe. Alright, so there's our combine hard at work. Let's run back to our tractor. Actually, let's jump on the combine. He's at 67%. This is how you would get on the combine in real life. We would run sandwiches or whatever out to for the guys to drink and jump on as quick as we could without getting ran over. Because the combine needs to be moving at all times. Eventually we'll get a grain cart and a semi-truck so that we can run the grain to our truck. And I may do a course play to do that for the unloading of the truck, but I will probably at least run the grain cart or the semi, it just depends. I'm going to try to do some of the jobs myself to save on labor. It's too bad that airplane can't be used for crop dusting. That would be very convenient. Alright, what do we got down here? Looks like we have the gear shift and some other items of some sort. And something to do with the unloading auger probably right there. Clutch and brakes, left and right. The hydrostatic control. And some kind of a reading of some sort saying something. Over and over. Okay. We've got all of our gauges there. Fuel, probably temperature gauge, oil pressure, probably battery power, the key for the ignition, and looks like the reel raising and lowering buttons, and the speed of the reel, which is probably a variable speed, and some other dials there. Okay, we are at 92%, so let's get our tractor ready to unload him. This tipper on the back of this tractor comes in red and blue and green. I chose red to match the machinery we currently have. It's nice on this mod too that his beacon flashes at 80% also as his auger comes out, so you can see that he is full, especially good in multiplayer, which I don't really play. I did try to play multiplayer when I first got this game, and it just seemed like too many people jump in and out of the game, and then people just drive like maniacs and ditch tractors in the rivers. It's just more hassle than it was worth. Again. Get out of there. How much fuel does he have right now? He's still pretty high on fuel. Check his fuel level. He's at 367 liters. Of course, he's been he's been running the whole time, so he's going to use more fuel on the tractor. I do have a mod for a fuel truck, Russian gas 53 or something like that I can use for fuel. Or I could get a fuel trailer. But I'd rather get the truck because it has interchangeable fuel tanker, milk/water tanker. It has a service attachment for seeds and fertilizer, and also has a grain dumping bed. But the grain dumping bed, it's a small truck and it says it holds 100,000 liters. I don't know if that's true or not. That's way too much for the small truck. So I don't think I'll be using the grain bed on that truck. But I will use the fuel and probably use the tanker for milk and water and the service bed for fertilizer and seed. So how far are we on this field? About halfway done. And how much do we have in here? Well, we're at 93%, so let's go ahead and run this. Well, let's go get it full first. Top it off so we can head it back to the farm to unload. Done one load. I think I've done one load so far. I'll take it back to the farm in the first episode. 1 or 2 loads, I can't remember which. Get him up to 100% before we head him back. We'll get a full load of fuel. Alright. See a little bit of what's up down the road here. It'll take him a while to get full again, so we should have time to get to the farm and back before he stops. Have to stop and look for traffic on this map because it does come when you least expect it. So we will follow the rules of the road, and we'll turn up here at the right, past the dealer. The dealer's right here. Where we left our trailer for our dual wheels. You can see over there. Back to the farm at some point. The main thing is to get the wheat harvest going. These tractors aren't super fast, 22 miles per hour is top speed. But they are a nice mod, they are stable. The farm is straight ahead, so we got to turn here across the railroad tracks. Make sure there's no train coming. The bars will come down when the train does come. The closest field that we own to the farm is the sunflower field. It is over there on the other side of that road. You can see it right over there barely. The trees. So the maps are spread out quite a ways, which I guess helps you to explore the map a little bit. Eventually we'll widen these fields up here close. But for now, we're going to try to farm what they gave us. Try to stick to the roads and not cut across the fields, because that would be rude since we don't own them. This farm, there are several entrances. You can go through the cows right over there. There is a gate right up here on the right, and up here is the main road, and we turn right on the main road and we come right around to the front side of the farm. And it's easier to unload through that gate because you go across the scales there and then straight onto the unloading platform. And this tipper does dump to the left side, which, see, there's cars. Let's pull up here a little. There's another one. So this tipper does unload to the left, which it needs to be pulled in the right direction to properly unload on this map. It does read it. Here is our scale, and it's at 0, and then when we drive onto it, we'll pull up here and pull ahead. You can see that the scale does work. 27.91 tons. And then up here is our unloading ramp platformy thing, and it has really good animation here. It actually accumulates the seed in the bin. I'll jump out and show you. You can see it building up in the bottom there, and it builds up into a mound through the grate, and it does create dust, which is nice. So let's pull around to the other side. Another nice thing about this map here at the unloading area is it has a board that tells you exactly how much you have in storage. So right now we have wheat, 45,264 liters. Alright, so let's head back to the combine. He's at 62%, and then we also have a convenient exit gate here to go back. I guess we could have gone through the other side, which would have made more sense because it would have been closer to go through the other gate on the other side, the south side. Okay, gotta really watch for traffic. Oh, here he comes. So sorry. Go back this way and off the main may not show you the whole wheat harvest because this is basically just a repeat of the episode before this. So what I may do is go ahead and the next episode I'll have the wheat harvested. So next episode we will see you then. Thanks so much for watching.